this is tough. I know that it's difficult. Let me get rid of all the stuff that we really aren't going to be playing with here. Um, we don't have to use these. What we need to do is we need to create a new output row. So right here, this is going to create our values. So we're going to put values in a row. So let's see if I can make this a little better. I thought at one point I had made this larger, but for some reason it seems still kind of small. And I hope that is a little better here. What I'm going to do, give me just a second, I'm going to bring in the system.io because we need to be able to iterate through all of our files. So here's what we have. We're going to say, we'll call it path to MP3 file, and that's going to be a string. And what we're going to do, this is important, you will dig this, we're going to put in a for each. And our for each is going to be for every path to MP3 file in directory.getFiles. You see, we're iterating over a directory, every file in a directory. That's what our for each loop is going to get. And the name of that file, or the full path to that file, is going to be stored in this variable. Now, the tricky part to know is how to access our connection manager. So do you remember, let me close out of here. Do you remember when we created our connection manager MP3s and we said it is going to use that folder? We came into the script component, we went to the connection managers, and we called it my MP3 folder. We're basically instantiating it in the script so that we can use that. We'll come back to the script, and we can now say, and I can use the connections. And you notice that because I brought in my MP3 folder, I can now use that. So we're going to say .my MP3 folder. And we need to acquire a connection. And we can put in a nothing, a null. Here we're not going to need any transactional support. And what this code is going to do is it's going to open a connection to whatever the folder is, C:\MP3s, and it's going to now loop through every folder or every file, and we're going to take the path and put it into a string. So the full path to the MP3 file will be stored right here. Now we need to make sure that we are loading, let's do this. I'll say if path to MP3 file ends with .mp3, then we want to load it up. So if we've had a text file in there, we don't want to load that up as a track. Okay. So now we just have to output add row, and the value of the path to file column is path to MP3 file. Okay, see, that is what came back when we said directory.getFiles. When we loop over that, it's saying for every file in here, put the full path, C:\Samson.mp3, in this variable. Now, make that variable, put that variable's value rather in that column. Now let's deal with the track. So the title of the track, what I want that to, I tell you what, I'm going to make it the path to the MP3 file first, and then you'll be able to see what it does. And that's really it. That's all we have to do. We can come down here and say that is the end of the row set. We have no more rows to add to our row set. And what I'm going to do in my script component, before we get into the import column and the loading into SQL Server, let's do a trash destination. So a trash destination is a row count that references a variable. So I'm going to make a junk variable here. Don't even have to give it a name, as long as it's an integer. If you don't know how to use the trash variables, I think we've done it maybe 50 times throughout the course. You'll want to go watch those videos, because we want to put in a data viewer so that we can see the output of our script as a source. And so if we've done it right, it loops through every file in the folder and that's what it puts in here. So what's left, the final thing that we need to do is we need to strip this part out, right? We don't want that, and we don't want that. We just want it to say Samson, Spoons, and Sweet Blue here, and then the full path. This is what that import column transform is going to use. Okay. Let's take out our row count. Now, oh, I shouldn't have done that because I do actually need it. Sorry. Put in our data variable. What I want to do before we go on to doing the import column is I want to strip out just the track title. So I'm going to use substring, and I want to start at the last index of the backslash character, and then I will replace, did I hit that there? Oh, there we go. And then I want to replace .mp3 with an empty string. So looking at our code, the track title says, okay, you're dealing with a file that looks like a file path that says C:MP3s Samson.mp3. Go to the last occurrence of a slash, so that's what the last index of method does, and then add one character. So here's the last index of, go to the next character, and bring that whole thing back, and just replace .mp3 with an empty string, and so we'd be left with just Samson. And let's look through our data viewer to make sure we have that part right. And I've got an error message here, a conversion error, some type of a data conversion. What did I do wrong? Last index of, oh, +1, sorry, I moved that. So what it was trying to do is it was trying to concatenate a string and a number, and I just needed to move the +1 because I want the starting position of substring to be the first character after the last backslash. Sorry. You'll do that too. You write enough last index ofs, I promise. Just make sure that we've gotten it right and looks good. Okay. So what we need to do, here's going to be the path. This is going to go straight through to become the track title in our destination. This is going to be the path to file. Here is going to be the path that we use, that we pass to the import column transform and have it load up and convert to binary. Okay. I'm going to stop here. Let's come back in the next video and finish this up.